ATEEZ just dropped their new project Golden Hour 5, and I'm going to be listening through each song to try and understand what's actually happening. Quick recap, if you don't know who ATEEZ is, do better.
Your name stuck on my tongue, no words but say too much. 어지러워 너의 그 미소, 눈이 멀어 섞인 your halo. 빠져버린 난 이제 포로. I feel like if we go Latina like no.
Off the bat, I'm already loving the Brazilian funk and Latin drum inspiration. Those drums are just so good at driving the energy.
She's so bad, she's so bad.
That main pluck sound playing is really interesting, and I think because of how unique it sounds, it's extra catchy. And I really like that there's one part in the pattern where you kind of expect it to play, and then they just shifted it instead. You would expect it to play around right here, but they shifted it over instead, and that alone makes the track, I feel like, so much more interesting, and it adds so much more bounce. Okay, maybe that alone isn't interesting to you, but the way that changes the dynamic with the drums and the pluck playing is definitely interesting. Listen to how much groove there is with just this pluck, rim, and kick playing. That was a cool little outro breakdown. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and listen to Mamacita now.
Hey, Mamacita.
That a flamenco guitar?
Huh?
We have a flamenco guitar in here?
Huh?
Wait a minute, did ATEEZ switch genres and I just have no idea? It says they are still a K-pop band. Man, with those horns, the flamenco guitar, the Latin trap drums, I think ATEEZ said no more K-pop, they're just gonna be a Latin group now. I really love those high register piano notes. Hey, Mamacita. I'm not gonna lie, those horns are doing some incredible work right now.
Dancing in the moonlight, yeah. Okay. Dancing in the fire, yeah.
One thing I love when listening to Latin tracks is just how much texture the percussion adds just by itself. I feel like a lot of other genres don't use percussion as much, and if they do, you don't get nearly the same texture as you do on a track like this. I mean, the percussion is having a solo moment right now. How many other genres could really get away with that? Let's see what Toxin has in store and if we continue the Latin trend. Whoa, my room's floating.
Tell me that you taste the
kind of fast track, I think. I mean, I'm not clocking it, but it sounds like it's like 100 BPM or something really speedy. Look at that. Just as I suspected. Like, I wonder what thought went into making this album, that they went from those first 2 Latin tracks and now we're just using rap drums and more of a standard track.
Tell me that you taste the rush. How do you feel it just like me? The look you give is way too much. Gotta get to
That little background lead tucked in the back, I guess. Makes sense. That background lead is really catchy.
just twisting your body. Twisting your body 한 점이 touching my body. 내 몸이 정신들을 못 차리겠어. 해결해 빨리. 그러니까 들이켜 술잔에 전부 쏟아내 난리.
I really love those chords. They're so lush, they're so full.
어쩔수록 손끝도 정교히 euphoric 이 밤 we history. Tell me that you taste the rush. Oh, you feel it just like me.
And now we're back to the boop, 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 boop. Well, I have to say that was an interesting departure from the Latin songs that we first heard. So now the next song is Fallin.
I feel in my mind, I'm riding on the edge. 떨어진 이성의 끝을 잡아 tonight. You know.
Okay. I mean, besides this very scary and gritty bass, there's like little fairies. There's little fairies singing.
You put the pressure on me. 내 머릿속 넘쳐난 serotonin. 너 있는 한 내게 이 밤은 deep, no exit. We're too obsessing you. 황홀해.
Really interesting. It sounds like there's a guitar kind of very lightly being used here in the build-up.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm falling
I feel like this bass is very deep, which is not that crazy to say, but it's interesting that they had Yo-sang singing super deep for this on top of the deep bass, because we're going like double layer on this, but it still sounds very magical and ethereal. Oh, I really love that part. Those like very raw sounding plucks coming in. That was such a great addition to the track right here. I'm a big fan of using sounds with minimal processing, and this feels like one of those, so I really appreciate it. Okay, that one was really good. I'm interested to see what the last track on this album sounds like, because I personally feel like Fallin kind of sounded like an outro to me, so let's listen to Body.
Can't forget your touch, I keep dreaming non-stop.
I really love this washed out sound that the track is giving between those chords and then that top line bell, as well as the bass. It's giving this kind of retro feel that I really like, and it does sound like an outro song.
Can't forget your touch, I keep dreaming non-stop. 너를 원해 하루 종일 all day. I just can't forget your body. Oh, I just can't forget your body.
This bass line sitting underneath the whole track is really interesting, because I don't know if it's intentionally done, but it sounds like it's pulsing at the rhythm of an eighth note instead of the typical quarter note that we see when sidechain is being used. To make a long story short, if you don't know what sidechain is, it's used in a lot of tracks to give that pulsing feeling like this. Now this is what the bass line sounds like, pulsing with the 8th note rhythm.
Can't forget your touch, I keep dreaming non-stop 너를 원해 하루 종일 all day I just can't forget your body 떠나지를 않아 과감한 깊은 대화 후회 남은 karma
That's cool. I really appreciate the drum switch here into some rap drums. Oh, it's just over. Okay. Kind of an abrupt ending, but that's fine. There's only 5 tracks on this project anyway. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with my thoughts on this project. I think that the songs are really good. Bad and Mamacita bring a really nice Latin inspiration. They're super high energy and catchy. And then Toxin takes the project in a different direction. Toxin obviously does not have Latin influence, and while the BPM is pretty high, it doesn't necessarily have high energy. And then Fallin and Body definitely slow the whole project down. So I think in terms of individual tracks, the songs are all really good on their own. In terms of cohesiveness, I feel like for having 5 tracks on this project, I'm not sure that I really followed along how we went from the Latin tracks all the way to the ethereal songs, but maybe that requires a certain level of genius that I'm just not at right now. Either way, the songs are good. I'll still save them and listen to them. But I think if we're looking at the project as how cohesive it is, my understanding is not there. Either way, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Maybe you learned something. Maybe we both learned something along the way. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.